Chapter 72. After a brief tidy up, everyone followed Lao El to the game venue. Perhaps as Lao had said, due to his years of street vending, he was particularly familiar with the city's maze-like alleys. The group followed him through various narrow paths, and on several occasions, Hijia felt like he was losing his sense of direction. Lao El walked leisurely, making left and right turns without any hesitation. During this time, Hijia also noticed the numbers that Lao El had mentioned. In addition to the 52 he had seen earlier, he also saw 19 and 34. He guessed that Lao El was right. These numbers were likely markers someone had written to keep track of their route. After about 20 minutes, the group arrived in front of a run-down hotel. Dog was standing at the entrance, seemingly talking to a few people. As they got closer, Hijia and the others immediately changed their expressions. The dog mask in front of them was disturbingly realistic. Arch bulldog's face, with a shiny black suit and a pristine white shirt. It's Earth Dog. Hijia paused in surprise. Zhang Xihan's blinked and asked, "What does Earth Dog mean? Isn't it Human Dog?" "Earth Dog is a higher rank than Human Dog." Hijia stroked his chin and said, "In Earth-level games, people can die." "Die?" Zhang Xihan froze. "Then, are we still participating?" This. Hijia frowned and thought for a moment. Even though it was an Earth-level game, it was still a cooperative type, and as long as they worked together, Han Shao was confident they could win. Thinking this, he turned around and looked carefully at Zhang Xihan and Lao El. "Can you both guarantee to follow my instructions?" "Yes." Zhang Xihan nodded. "Sure," Lao El added. Hijia felt a little relieved after hearing this. "Great. Someone's coming." A shout came from the direction of Earth Dog. "Now we can start, right?" Caught the group of young people standing next to Earth Dog looking over. "What's going on? Isn't it supposed to be a four-person team?" Hijia asked Lao El, confused. "I don't know either. The dog told me this morning that the game requires for people to form a team," Lao answered. Hijia stepped forward and observed the four people closely. 3 men and 1 woman. They looked to be in their 20s, with 1 man and 1 woman seemingly a couple, hugging each other. They had a rough and rebellious look, with their hair dyed in all sorts of colors. Xia's first impression of them wasn't great. If Xiao Jiajin had been the notorious enforcer among the thugs, then these young people looked like the lowest level lackeys. "Want to join my game?" Earth Dog's deep voice suddenly rang out. "Each person will receive a Dao, and life and death are up to fate. The losing team will be eliminated, and the surviving team will receive 5 Daos each, along with all the spoils of the losing team." Eliminated. Everyone was taken aback. "What's the rule?" Hijia asked coldly. "Pay the entry fee, and you'll learn the rules." Earth Dog replied. "Here we go again." Hijia shook his head helplessly. The previous Earthworm game had been the same. No one knew what was coming until after the entry fee was paid. "Hey, what's wrong with you guys?" A green-haired thug seemed a little impatient, scared before even starting. Kaisha ignored the green-haired thug, thinking for a moment, then asked, "Earth Dog, will the game randomly divide teams?" "Randomly divide teams." Lao and Lin King seemed to have an idea. This was indeed a problem. If Earth Dog followed the pattern of the Earthworm game and suddenly mixed up the teams after the entry fee, the outcome would be hard to predict. "No," Earth Dog answered. "You will keep your current teams. All your efforts will be for the benefit of your team." After hearing this, Hijia finally felt relieved. It seemed that this was a pure teamwork game, and there were only 2 teams on site, so they would likely compete against. Lao El saw that Hijia was still hesitating and quickly pulled out 4 dolls and handed them over. "Lao El." Hijia frowned. "What are you doing?" "This time, it's on me." "Lao end. If we win, give me a bigger share, okay?" "I don't want to give you a bigger share," Hijia said. "The dolls we win will be split equally among everyone. Or I leave now." Lao El sighed, then reluctantly nodded. "Fine, fine, you really are a penny pincher." Both teams paid the entry fee. What surprised everyone was that after the fee was paid, Earth Dog's attitude suddenly changed completely. He became cheerful and started dancing around, greeting the guests like a host. Please come in, everyone, Earth Dog said, smiling. Welcome to my game venue. Although everyone was confused, they could only follow him reluctantly. Once inside, Tijosk in the shabby hotel. The interior was simple. There were long corridors on both sides, each with several rooms. Do any of you like spy drama? Earth Dog asked, rubbing his hand. Tijon noticed that Earth Dog's hand was covered in thick fur, as if he was wearing a very realistic glove. Spy dramas? Who watches that stuff? A blond thug shook his head. Stop talking nonsense and just tell us what we're playing. Such impatience. Earth Dog pulled the stacks of cards from the drawer at the front desk and handed them over. Although you're a four-person team, each person has their own identity card. Please draw your identity now. Tijaw glanced at the stack of cards. They resembled the cards from when he first met the human sheep character. The back of each card was labeled with the words New War Game. Lin Ting, standing at the front of the team, took the 4 cards and turned around. Who wants to draw first? It's all the same. You deal the cards. Zhang Xihan said. Lin Ting nodded, shuffled the cards, and handed them out one by one. When Tijaw received his identity card, he was puzzled. It said, Sender. Should we keep this a secret? Now I'll ask, holding his card carefully against his chest. Everyone looked toward Earth Dog. No need. Earth Dog smiled. Team members can check each other's identities. If you like, you can even swap identities. After hearing this, everyone gathered around Tijaw, standing in a circle. They each flipped their cards. Each person had a different identity. TXIA's identity was sender. Lin Ting's identity was receiver. Zhang Xihan's identity was hostage. How about you? Tijaw looked at Lao El and noticed that he refused to reveal his card. Well, how should I say this? At this point, Tijaw didn't ask any further. He directly grabbed Lao L's wrist and forcibly revealed the card. It said, Spy.